Hello everybody, welcome. Today I have for you a juicy topic. Emotional cheating. I told you it's juicy and it is a painful topic because it involves trust, self-confidence, insecurity, attachment, and virtually everybody agrees that it is something very painful and frustrating because it feels like the trust is broken. Plus, I think that people involved no longer seem to understand each other, and that's why it is also controversial, because not everybody agrees on what emotional cheating is, let alone how to handle it. So, is it texting? It is talking on the phone, just thinking about somebody, all of the above? I mean, how many criteria your case need to meet to fall in emotional cheating? So the experts have no agreement, and I'm afraid that sometimes they give very bad advice, but don't take my word for it. Today we're gonna do reaction on YouTube videos from coaches and therapists. And so let's see what they say emotional cheating or emotional affair or emotional infidelity. I mean, we use this expression interchangeably. Let's see what they say it is.
So let's define what an emotional affair is, because I think a lot of you would be surprised.
No way.
So let's define the term. What is an emotional affair? An emotional affair is simply an affair that excludes physical intimacy.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard, well, I'm not having sex with that person, so it's not an affair.
And I think you're gonna hear it once more.
Emotional cheating, right? People call me and they say, my partner is emotionally cheating on me, but they think it's ridiculous that I've even brought it up because they haven't been physical with this person.
A new study from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology says that when it comes to having affairs of the heart, most men believe that emotional cheating isn't really cheating because they're not actually having sex with another partner.
So see, it's controversial because, I mean, there is this disagreement between even the two people involved.
It's real betrayal when you've been hurt by an emotional affair from your partner. Emotional affairs can actually sometimes hurt worse than sexual affairs.
Now, many women feel like emotional cheating is just as bad, if not worse, than physical cheating.
Seriously, guy, worse than emotional cheating? Well, with the physical cheating, there is chemicals exchange, fluids exchange, there is mixing of DNA, not only humans. So when this thing happens, you spread children, you spread diseases, infections. So it's really, literally dangerous. So you may decide to be happy about that. But I mean, for some of these consequences, there is no coming back. Besides, I mean, between emotional cheating and physical cheating, not only I think that one is worse than the other, but there is also something else in between. I believe that physical cheating is here, so it's dangerous. Emotional cheating is here. And here we have flirting publicly. You know, because in the case of physical cheating and public flirting, usually, not always, but more often than not, we're dealing with people that are serial cheater or serial flirter. So people that constantly lack of disrespect their partner by doing so. While emotional cheating is something that can be healed. It's just something that it's a red flag, you know, something that you can address and can be healed and probably could be the best thing that can happen to some relationship.
An emotional affair is when we engage in a very emotional, intimate relationship with someone other than our spouses or partner. So, emotional affair needs to be very emotionally intimate. If it's just quite emotionally intimate or moderately emotional, it's not an affair. So besides, the word intimate is a little bit fuzzy because it means closely acquainted, familiar. So if you are familiar, emotionally involved with somebody, it could be with your mom, you or your father, you can be familiar and emotionally involved with them. Doesn't mean that you are cheating, having an affair with them. So how do we drop the line? I mean, it's a little bit extreme definition, too broad. Besides, also intimate have another meaning, and it is an euphemism for having a sexual relationship. But
this isn't a sexual or physical affair.
So an emotional affair is not sexual, but so intimate could be sexual. So in this point, so we rule out that intimate has the meaning of sexual. So emotional affair, basically everybody agrees that it's not sexual. See? I mean, we heard it. But let's see the definition of affair at this point. So affair, or less commonly affaire, is a romantic and passionate attachment of limited duration or a liaison with meaning of in the sense of to be. Let's check liaison. So this is Merriam-Webster dictionary. Liaison in the sense to be is an illicit sexual relationship or the affair of the sense 3a that we just saw. So let's check Collins. Sometimes the dictionary have a different description. According to Collins, affair is when two married people, but not married to each other, have a sexual relationship. So affair means sexual. So emotional affair is not sexual. So how can this be? It's confusing, isn't it?
There's even more confusion about what an emotional affair is.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. But okay, so this expert cannot define very well. Let's see if we read something on the web. So there are many articles on the web about this. Let's check this. And this article give the definition. So, okay, now finally we're going to understand what it is. Let's read this. What is an emotional affair? Emotional affair wreck your marriage or your family. You only have a certain amount of emotional energy. When you're not focused this energy to your spouse, where it might be going. You tell me. Most emotional affairs and physical affairs, while you're bringing them up, start as benign friendship. There's usually no intention to become anything more. Regardless, the line between friendship and emotional affair is thin. Emotional affair can quickly lead to flirtatious and sexual encounter. So, I mean, this is not a definition. You're saying what can happen, but not what they are. So, how you can identify them. Okay, let's call a friend from home.
An emotional affair is defined as a relationship between a person and someone other than their spouse or significant other that affects the level of intimacy, emotional distance, and overall dynamic in the relationship of the couple.
So, I had to read this 3 times because at the beginning I didn't understand. Not because it's not clearly stated, but just because I didn't understand couple means the committed couple or the couple in the relationship. So then I realized that it was the committed couple. I mean, although it's, we can argue about that. She's saying something that makes sense. So she says that a relationship that impacts negatively on a romantic committed relationship or a marriage, that is something to focus on and to address. So she calls it emotional affair. I mean, I have my concern about that.
I think it's dangerous because in the beginning they just think, oh, it's just emotional, but the reality is worse. It's worse because you start out being emotional and that could only lead to physical.
I'm understanding. What is the emotional part? Is it that they're sharing something? Explain it to me.
Talking on the phone for hours, talking about the things that you feel you can't speak to your woman or your wife about. It's a connecting on a deeper level.
On an emotional level.
Right, that when you get those butterflies in your stomach when you're talking to somebody, or when you a man that you're mad close with that actually talks to you about stuff, that talks about what's going on in his job, you stay on the phone for hours, you know, if they're traveling, you're the one that they call.
Yeah, but I mean, I got a friend like that, Willis, but I don't want to be with Willis. I do not want to
Have
be
you
with
already
Willis.
tried being with Willis?
No.
That's why you don't Willis want to be with you.
No.
How do you know?
No.
How do you
no,
know?
Because he said that people said, "Oh, have you and Lonnie?" And we're like, "No, we're
Wait,
not
but does
like
Willis
that."
have a significant other?
Yes, he does.
All right. So as you see, even all women's panel have a hard time to define the emotional part of the emotional affair, and actually also the affair part. Let's see. I mean, last attempt. I promise.
It's sharing intimate information with a member of the opposite sex that you would not say if your partner was standing there.
Okay.
Like, that's the cleanest definition you could find.
So I agree this is a clear definition, but the problem I have with that. So according to this logic, if somebody shares, I mean, the couple's information to a confidant, then they're having an emotional affair. Following this logic, if somebody is sharing their stuff of their couple to a therapist, because the therapist is paid, if it's the opposite sex, then the therapist is offering emotional support by payment, so she's an emotional prostitute. So, I mean, you see where I'm going. And besides, I mean, also opposite sex, I mean, really limiting definition here, because if it's a gay couple, so of course it's doesn't need to be opposite sex, and if somebody is bisexual, I can understand their struggle. So they cannot have a male confidant, they cannot have been female confidant, because they're gonna be accused of emotional cheating, and you know what I mean. So this is the proof that emotional affair don't exist. Stay with me. So the thing that everybody calls emotional affair or emotional cheating or emotional infidelity, it's something that needs to be addressed. I mean, whatever is emotional cheating for you. So if you think you are in an emotional affair, or you are accused of being in an emotional affair, or you think you're being emotionally cheated on, I would recommend that you contact a coach or a therapist, maybe a coach first, because they can, focus on the stuff that is going on and give more clarity, and eventually refer to a therapist. Therapist, sometimes it can take many sessions, so weeks, before you figure out what's going on. But I really recommend you address this professionally. But anyway, what's my trouble with emotional cheating here? So affair, I mean, we already understood that you cannot call affair something that is not sexual. It's like calling, talking about a vegan burger with beef. It doesn't go together. And also cheating. Let's think cheating. Cheating means also sexual. So you cannot call a relationship which is not sexual cheating. Unless cheating means sexual unless you're playing poker. But cheating also means breaking rules. But in a romantic relationship, the rules are love and the rules are sexual exclusivity. There is nowhere that says that there is emotional exclusivity in a relationship. So, yeah. So, and same with infidelity, same thing, basically. So we all agree that this expression, emotional affair, cheating and infidelity, are completely made up and are tautological. So, but said that, we need to accept that because it's been in use for more than a decade. So basically now it's part of common language. And as long we agree that emotional affair is not an affair, is not cheating, we can call that. We do this with other words in English. For example, strawberry is not a berry, but we keep calling strawberry because we don't want to change the thing. But the point here is that you cannot use emotional cheating or emotional affair to accuse somebody of doing that, the same way that you accuse of a physical affair. Yeah. What it is important of the emotional affair, or whatever we can call it. I mean, we can call it, I mean, this emotional affair is just a conventional name. We can call it George, Diane, we can call it Khmer, Ptor. So the emotional affair of the Ptor, the important thing is not how we define it, but the sign. For example, the same website before, and I mean, interestingly enough, all, you know, the source and this expert agree on almost completely about the sign. So frequent contact, frequent sharing, constant thoughts, inappropriate sharing, spending more time, secrecy very important, less time for your partner. And I'll show you that also. I mean, the same expert that already show you before they said something.
If you're oversharing with this outside person.
And so if you're talking about the fact that, you know, my partner and I only make love once every 6 months and it really bothers me, and you're sharing that with a member of the opposite sex, you're shattering trust.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. How dare you share that I'm withholding sex from you to your confidant or your therapist?
You know, if you're talking about, you know, my partner is an emotional spender and every penny I make, she's out there blowing it or he's out there gambling it away.
Yeah.
You know, that's emotional affair. And
I think that if you are in this financial situation, emotional affair is the last of your problems. Besides, I mean, when this problem happen in a couple, I strongly believe that one of the partner try to address this with the other partner. The problem that when he felt or she felt not understood, probably they had the need to talk with somebody else. So yeah, I'll show other clips to show what are the signs.
The first sign is you begin to feel closer to your friend than your partner. In fact, you're so close, you would tell them anything. And it's not uncommon that you would actually tell them bad things about your partner at home. The friendship is kept secret from your partner.
So, all these sign, secrecy, you know, needs to share your stuff with somebody, be confident, talk less with your partner. These are, in some case, signs of friendship. This is what friendship is for, you know, to share things and to, you know, to have advice, and also there is some emotional part in your friendship.
You cannot be just friends with someone you are sexually attracted to.
So, Coach Sania, probably I'm gonna tell you something that you didn't expect. 50% of men, I cannot speak for women, but I'm sure that 50% of men, and I'm trying to be conservative here, are sexually attracted to any breathing female body. And, you know, somebody can argue that this is an understatement, because it's actually any warm female body. So, I mean, without being so creepy, I mean, the point here is that people that are emotionally rich and they're passionate, they fall in love every day with many things. So with the ocean, with the sunset, with a flower or a kitten on the side of the road. It doesn't mean that they want to kiss this stuff. I mean, I would kiss a flower on the side of the road, I have to confess. And I know people that would kiss the cat. But this doesn't mean that it is a danger for the relationship. Even people who are sexually attracted or find attractive their coworker, their friends' partner, doesn't mean that they want to jump on them, because I mean, we are human, meaning that we have a prefrontal cortex, so we can control our urges or our emotion. It's not that we don't have control. If we don't have control and then people like that go really sexual to, you know, to other friends that cheat sexually, then I have trouble with that. But I mean, with people, I mean, with sexual attraction, we need to work with people, and we found, I mean, attractive people, and probably being sexually attractive is not the thing that keep us with our relationship. Maybe we found, you know, more value in our partner, and people find more value in their partner, even if there's more sexual attraction out of the common. But they will never think to have a sexual affair with those people, let alone an emotional affair. What's the point of that at this point? And here is where bad advices come. And let's listen to some.
In order to heal from an emotional affair. First step is get out of harm's way. Is if you're being cheated on and your partner is not wanting to end the relationship with the affair partner, you need to get some space from your partner, and you need to tell them that this is not okay. So don't just hang in there and take the blame.
Stopping an emotional affair is a lot easier said than done. I usually advise clients to do it quickly. You have to close all lines of communication, because if there's even one open, there is a threat that you will continue the emotional affair.
So these are very, very bad advices. Bad. So as I said, I mean, the signs that we heard before, some are only friendship, as I mentioned, and some are red flags that something in the relationship is going not the right way. So there is some issue in the relationship. Some one or both of the members of the couple, they are experiencing some stress, romantically and emotionally. If you advise to these people to break their friendship or their emotional affair, I think their contact with this third person, probably this third person is the only chance that they have to understand what's going on. If the two couples stay in there and behind closed door, they will never realize what's the issue. So they need somebody else to, figure things out, to learn something more about relationship. I agree that maybe the best way to go is to talk to a therapist. And actually, I would recommend a coach as a first step. And then, go ahead to talk with a therapist as well. But, when you have some gut feeling that something is wrong, you won't understand better. So the first thing that you do is to talk with somebody privately, a friend, somebody who understands you, who can get this emotional connection. It's emotional like in a friendly way or a brotherly way, not necessarily an affair. So we need this third person to sparkle awareness that something is not the right way in the couple. So breaking this bond is bad. And there is also another reason. People who advise their partner not to see their friends, usually they are controlling people, and in some cases they're narcissistic people, which is a personality disorder. So people who won't control you, the first thing, one of their best weapon is to isolate you from your friends, close friends, family, because so they can control you, and can be bad. So this is very bad. And even break the relationship just because you have the suspect there is emotional affair or any affair, it's really bad. My advice is to work on yourself, figure out what it is, not just, okay, it's texting, and then you react on this. Figure things out, check if you can talk to the other partner, and then, you take a decision. Fortunately, Mary Jo Rapini smoothed a little bit her position in another video. Let's listen.
And it might mean those coffee chats you used to have, you don't do anymore. It might mean this person is totally blocked from your social media, from your phone, and everything else. This is for the couple to decide. There is no right or wrong. I know what's right for me. What's right for me is blocking everything. But what's right for you may not be.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong, but I would say whatever it's right or wrong, I mean, probably some relationship need to be broken when this happens. But before to take any decision, we need to, to understand what's going on.
Well, I'm here to tell you that emotional cheating is very real. I would say that that's a red flag, but here's the real question. The question is not, is it real? The question is, why is it happening?
So I'm going to go through 6 very common life situations or triggers, if you will, that can lead to an emotional affair. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. Now, a new baby is for sure a celebration of joy, and it is a miracle. But it's important that you remember both partners just feel really sleep deprived.
Why is your ex feeling or your partner feeling interested emotionally in someone else? It's because there's something missing. It's because they feel emotionally neglected by you. There is something they want to talk about that they're not getting.
So, it's life events that can trigger this kind of stuff. Not because either partner is blaming. A partner that is neglecting and the other partner that looks to meet their needs outside the couple, which sometimes is healthy, and sometimes sometimes it comes for life advice, like sleep deprivation, or like some of the partner, it's so anxious if the other partner is texting or just thinking of somebody else. And this is also comes because, one partner may be so insecure, is not healthy attachment, or sometimes also because these days, as 𝗘𝗺cie says, we have expectation from relationship that are too exaggerated, because we want, these days, from relationship something that an entire village used to provide to people. So we want our best friends, our best confidant, our best sexual partner, our best cook, our best handyman. And we cannot find everything, the best parents for our children. We cannot find everything from the same person. So it's also healthy to find some of these emotional needs, possibly not the sexual one, outside the couple. And so let's hear that.
And the first one is, be more honest. His flirting doesn't hurt you because he flirts. His flirting hurts you because of what it makes you believe about yourself. It makes you believe that you're unworthy. It makes you feel that you're invisible. It makes you feel like you're unimportant. That's what's really going on.
It's also really important with the I feel to be as specific as possible. Don't say when you text your coworker. That's too big, because then, your partner can say, well, I have to text them. We had a work project, how am I not? So you got to be more specific about what's bothering you about the text.
So that's why when people have a suspect of emotional cheating, they need to understand how to communicate that. Because it could be too aggressive, not, in a bad way, just, too direct, or too, broad, or too, or really there is an understanding. So it needs to be a conversation very compassionate. And if people are really worried about that, they need, to understand, to work, to get advice, possibly professional, not like the next door friends, because sometimes they give advice. Somebody that really care about you. But this again, emotional affair are something that can be healed and can also strengthen your relationship. Also physical cheating can heal your relationship. But I mean, if you accept that, there could be other issue. I mean, it's not right or wrong here to, I mean, you can accept a physical affair from your partner, but I mean, I would understand why would you do that, and what, I mean, was the original reason of this flirting. Is a serial cheater we're dealing with that, or it's really, combination of the life?
Let's say if just one person wants to get the help and the other one doesn't. Is that still, can you manage to help that couple if only one?
Absolutely. Most of the time, a wife will call me and say, my husband is fooling around, I think, on the side. She changed so much at home by her understanding her role and her aggressiveness and nagging and all these things. She ended all of that. He finally called me one day and said, my wife has changed so much.
And then the next piece is you be the change you want to see. And I know it sounds corny, but it's the way you need to be. Be the change you want to see.
Is absolutely come into conscious contact with the fact that you can't control your husband, and you shouldn't have to. That you should be married to somebody. If you're the kind of person that wants to be married, you have to know that it's not your job to get him to do what you want him to do.
So the point of these clips, last series of clips, is to say that, again, it's in the power of the person that realize there is this thing called emotional cheating, to work on themselves. So work on individuals before working on the couple, because there's so much that we can fix, that we can do, just understanding what's going on. And this doesn't mean that we need to change for them, or we don't want people change for us, and we don't want to change our nature. Just we understand how we can be better. I mean, the people in this situation, but everybody should try to become better. When you become better, you attract more love, more friendship, more quality people from your partner, but also outside of your partner. So it's very important to work on themselves. And so, in general, I recommend, that you see a coach if you are in this situation, but also if you want to, improve any aspect of your life. I'm available if you are in this situation and you want address. Feel free to contact me. If you have comment, please leave comments, and I'll be happy to follow up. And I want also to end this saying that my position is emotional affair is just a conventional way to call some couple issues. And so to me, it's not an affair, just a term that made up term. But this doesn't mean that you have to have the same opinion as mine. So as Dr. Ramani Durvasula says, actually cheating or affair is what you decide it is. So it could be sexual, it could be, repeated sexual affair, it could be just texting, it could be just calling, it could be just thinking of somebody, it could be just having a coffee. The main point is that both members of the couple need to agree on this definition, because if one of the members doesn't agree, it will be frustrating and will be not sustainable, and the relationship will break. Because if either of the members of the couple try to meet the other party on the middle, they will give up something important themselves. So if one accepts that a coffee is not cheating, there will be resentment anyway, if they intellectually understand that they should not be frustrated for just a coffee. And if the other party want to say, okay, I'm not having coffee with anybody else, I don't meet other member of the other sex, of the opposite sex, alone, and that also could lead to frustration, to limitation, and to one of your emotional outlet and I mean, this will affect your relationship. So again, your definition of affair and emotional affair is yours. Nobody can change you. If you want to work on that, then that's fine, but it's you that decide. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it would also be funny. And I know that's painful. Some of you may have listened to this video because they're in trouble, and so I'm with you. I understand, and I wish you all the best, and feel free. I mean, I'm here to help if you want to. Have a great day. Thank you for watching this video.